So I have a tag share. I didn't do a process video on this because honestly, I was winging it as I was going along, and I really didn't know what I was doing. So I didn't record the process because it was just a little too convoluted. So anyway, this is my tag. I used a graphic 45 staples packaging for the base of the tag. And here you can see it's, you know, got the tag outline here. So what I did is I stitched some fabric. This is, I don't know the name of the fabric, but anyway, I stitched some fabric to it, and then I had adhered just a piece of paper to the back of it to cover it up. So I didn't do any painting on the card. I just completely covered both sides. And like I said, did some machine stitching. And then I added an antique handle here from this is Xdye, and adhered that down. I did color both sides because I knew both sides would be seen. And I added a Butter Bee Scraps metal piece up top, and I cut it in half so that I could put it around this opening here because I knew I was going to want to tie some seam binding through it. This is just some dyed seam binding. And it's not hanging right, so I don't like the way it's hanging. But anyway, and then in the center of that, to cover up that hole in the center, I did put a little ribbon buckle slide with a flat back pearl stuck there in the center. And then the focal point of this is a pin cushion. And this is just one of those $2 frames from Michael's. And I made a little, as you can see there, dimensional puffy pillow thing in there. It's full of the fiber, whatever you call it. I don't know what that stuff is called. Pillow foam, whatever. And so I hot glued all that down and then trimmed it out with some coordinating colors that was on this fabric. So I used like this pretty aqua trim and went around the frame. And then around the frame as well, I took some beading, just some strung beading, and also went around right there. And that's in a very pale pink color. And then I just put a couple of, you know, three flowers here. And I had used some of the Vintage Photo Distress Powder. And that is what is the brown color on the edges of all the petals here. So, then what? And then I just put some of my already made stick pins on here that I thought the colors went with this tag pretty good. This is a hat pin, actually. A hat pin, and then these are like 3 little stick pins. I've got one with a little dangle on it. And this is going to be sent to somebody, and I really like the way this turned out. So this is I think this is one of my first real, you know, real tags that I've made. I've done tags, but, you know, just to, you know, throw it in something like a mini album or whatever. I haven't done just a tag specifically for it to be a piece of art on its own. So, oh, and I did miss this too. This is actually a Tim Holtz memo pen, and I stuck a little dangle on it. I used some Inca Gold to color the silver parts up on this little key that's right here, and then just like this other little dangle jewelry piece. And I stuck it on the end of the pin here, and I've stuck it inside the little foam so that it'll be, or I don't know why I keep calling that foam. Whatever, you know, whatever that pillow stuff is. And, you know, stuck it in there like so that it'll, you know, like just be a little dangle here. So that's it. All right, and I'll be back with my box that's going to accompany this after I get it done. Okay, I'll be back. I can't believe I forgot to record the video of my box that I sent to Diane. So I'm just going to kind of go over really quickly what I did. And if you have any questions, you can ask me about a technique I used or product I use if I skip it in this part, if I don't remember it, because I don't have the box now, so kind of hard to revisit something. But I did forget on my tag to mention that I cut that antique handle that I used at the bottom of the tag. I cut that out of Tim Holtz grunge board and then did the inking and stuff. So that was what I used. And I used the Sizzix Biggs die, the antique handles that they come with the embossing folder as well. That was what I used. I love that die. Very glad I got that. Okay, so for Die's box, what I did, it was just one of those book boxes that you can get from, you know, Hobby Lobby, Joann, wherever. And it was one of the big ones. And I first painted it in Titan Buff. And then I decoupaged over it with some napkins. And just one pattern of that happy birthday napkin that was also included in the box that I gave to Die. And then after that, I took this trim right here that I got from an eBay store. And this is really cool. I love this corset trim that you can get, because even though you can use your own lace and your own twill and then set eyelets, this just takes all the hard work out of it. So I really love using this. And I got it from an eBay seller. And I coffee stained it as well. This isn't coffee stained. This is the color that it came in. But for Die's box, I took the ribbon pleated ribbon that I wrapped around the edge of the box, as well as this, and I coffee stained it just to give it like kind of an aged look. And then after it dried, I wrapped it around the spine of the book and then corset laced it with some dyed seam binding that I had dyed with some distress stains. And I did mean to dangle a charm off of the bow at the top. And of course, like I said, I got so caught up with trying to get this project done and out to Die before it was her birthday next year that I forgot to do a couple of steps. So that's why it's good to keep notes when you're doing a project like that, because then you can just tick off what you're doing as you're doing it. Okay, and then after I did that spine, then I went in with my different chipboard pieces on that cover. So I started out with that bicycle chain frame, and all the chipboard pieces came from creativeembellishments.com, and I love their store. They have just some awesome pieces. I have this piece out just so you can see what it looks like. I'm using this on a project I'm working on right now. So what I did is I took a bunch of different colored embossing powders and did a bunch of layering with those and inking over the top of that and rubbing the ink off to give it a little bit of a distressed look as well. So that's how I did those chipboard pieces, and then it was just a matter of layering all the other elements into the design. And then I used my Hardware Findings die to do the closure for the box. So I used a hitch fastener on the top, and then I cut out the hinge piece from the Hardware Findings with a piece of, let me show you. Again, I went to eBay and I found a book, a sample book of these textured vinyl pieces right here. It was just a book of all different colors. I've got like quite a few more stacks of this because I took it right out of the book to save for storage space and just have these all stacked up in my fabric tower. But you can see here where I cut that design out for dies. And I made a mistake and I used the staple end I didn't realize it until I put it on the box, and I was like, oh, just gotta go with it. But anyway, and this is the back. And you can see that was like the design name. But anyway, yeah, I really, I want to start using these. But it's a really good sturdy material. That's the reason why I used it. And it's a textured vinyl, and it was red. It kind of matched the accent color that I had used on that box. And then I folded it over, of course, and had to punch the hole a little bit bigger so that it would fit over that big hitch fastener. And then I attached the back with some just really heavy duty glue so that the piece would, you know, when you wrap it over, it would stay stuck on. And I trimmed that out with some Ingeville Bohm pieces as well. Junkyard Finding, little screw covers or something like that. And then on the inside, I just lined it with some more advert paper and stuck my stuff in, and that was pretty much it with the box. So like I said, if you have any questions about it, just email me. I'll be happy through YouTube. I'll be happy to answer any questions if you watched that video and you had any questions about how it was done. So I'm glad Di liked her box. And thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you later.